Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on my Minecraft Survival Let's Play world, where in the previous episode we did quite a lot of building, and to begin with I'm over here at my industrial district, where at the end of the previous episode we quickly made this nice nether portal entrance kind of area to my industrial district, and I'm really in love with it. And if we actually walk through this nether portal here into the nether, we've actually started our nether hub, and I'm also super happy with how this turned out as well. And as you can see, we've got a very cool looking train station over here, and I'm very happy with how it turned out, like I just said, and I think it looks absolutely spectacular. Now there is still quite a lot of work to do within this area. We still need to continue these pathways along here, these ice highways all the way to the next portal, which is about another 300 blocks this way in the nether. Then we've also probably going to make some more train station locations. I think there's a place down there. I've got another portal. I think that's where my mining mesa is. And I've got a few other locations with some very important nether portal locations, such as, um, you know, well, I can't really think of any right now. Probably like my gardening farm and, the medieval area, the mountain area, which this one's going to, and plenty of other places which I really need to connect these tubes up to at the moment. But in today's episode, we are going to be working on something else. So we're just going to take a small break from all of these over here, and we're just going to go ahead and fly over back to the mountain area because we're going to be continuing with our progress on the huge mountain project. And for those of you which are unfamiliar with my mountain project, it's this huge project that I'm tackling at the moment, which involves building some enormous custom mountains. And that's what we built 2 episodes ago, which is this huge mountain face over here. And I think that looks absolutely amazing. Look at the sheer scale of it, and it looks super cool with all that snow coming off the top, the peak over there. And I think that looks really amazing. And as you can see, I've added lots of detail into it, adding lots of snow, but it seems like since the last time we've seen it, some snow has naturally been falling on it as well on the little sides over here. And I actually don't really like that a lot. That looks a little bit weird with some patches of snow here and there rather than these lumps of snow that I've created myself, and those look much better. So I may end up removing that. However, in today's episode, we're actually going to continue the mountain range along this side into this plains biome, so hopefully the snow will stop naturally falling on this mountain over here, because this mountain over here was built in the Minecraft generated mountain biome, and snow automatically generates here at a very low height. But anyway, with all that said and done, we actually need to gather all the materials for a huge project like this, because this mountain face over here alone took about maybe 7, 8 shulker boxes of stone, maybe 5, 6 shulker boxes of snow, and so much more. Because you can see we've also added in some coal and some andesite. We haven't fully textured it, but that'll be something for a later episode or something like that. So we need to actually grab loads of materials. And for that, I've actually set up a beacon base behind here. So if you just fly down here, and since this is a mountain farm, there's quite a lot of stone around here. So I can just go ahead, pop down this beacon, and get straight into mining. And just like that, we can go ahead and just grab an iron ingot, grab some haste 2, just like this. And at the top right, there we go, you can just see the haste 2 sign. And then we can quickly start insta mining this stone over here and grabbing tons upon tons of it, and this will be hopefully enough to start work on the mountain range once again. And we're gonna grab a few shulker boxes worth of this material here. And then of course along with that, I'm also gonna go ahead grab some snow, and then I'll see you guys over back at the mountain range in a couple of mere seconds for you guys. And let the resource gathering begin.
One eternity later.
And just like that, within a couple of seconds for you guys, like I just said, I've gathered all my materials, even though it was about an hour or two for me, but I'm ready with all my materials on hand. So let's go ahead and get straight on to building the mountain. And to do that, I was thinking about doing a time lapse, and I know it's very early on in the episode to do a time lapse, yet there's so much building that we have to do in today's episode, so we might as well get straight into it. So I hope you guys are gonna enjoy this time lapse, and I'll see you all after this one. Well, that seemed to be a whole lot of building. I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse as usual. And it seems like the zombie was trying to creep up on me there, but hopefully he didn't get to me in time. And wow, we did quite a lot of building there, and I'm actually very happy with the result. And as you may have noticed, I've been using some different varieties of blocks now into the mountain range to try and give it a little bit more of a nice feel. As you can see, I started including in some cyan terracotta over here because I feel like that's a very dark block to contrast this stone block. And I think once you actually step back, it actually looks really cool because it kind of fades into this kind of darker tone to add in some shadows. And I think that looks absolutely amazing. And as you can see, I'm still trying to add in lots of snow to give it that super mountainous feel. But otherwise, other than that, I'm really happy with how this mountain range is coming along. And as you can see, I'm working really hard on it, trying to get as much done in each episode. However, because it's such a big project, of course, I cannot do, more than probably about 10 hours of work on a single episode because you see, I need to deal with all these mobs here, need to get all the materials themselves, and I honestly don't have enough time to build this entire thing and publish a video every single week for you guys. But despite that restriction, though, I think this is coming along really well. And within 2 episodes, we've completed all of this here, which I'd say is probably more than 3,000 blocks just there. Not including, like the signed terracotta and the snow, probably just 3,000 blocks of stone right there gathered up. And you can see I've also got like this kind of shulker box right over here just for the blocks themselves. And I've, wasted quite a lot of materials on this, but I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And as you can see, slowly as we're moving out of the mountain range, less snow is starting to form on the mountains themselves, and that way they look much better. But of course, in between episodes, I'm not really too happy with how this individual mountain is over here because I feel like there's some minor tweaks and adjustments that I should do to make it look a little bit better. Because as you see, those mountains over there have a lot more snow, and I think that turned out much nicer compared to this one. So I'm going to try and continue the snow, capped mountain down a little bit more and try and, like bring in the snow down into this lower part, and I think that'll make it look much better because I'm really in love with this mountain over here because I think the lots of the snow kind of gives it some different colors and makes it more bright, whereas this mountain is kind of just plain because it's just stone itself, whereas that mountain as well in the middle is snow as well as a mix of cyan terracotta. So I think in between episodes I may include some more snow into that so that it looks much nicer looking. And then also, if you guys notice in the time lapse, I also added in this little tree over here just to add in that decoration. And you may have noticed I started adding in some grass over there. And that's because I'm going to start bringing up the train around here so that this transition into the mountain is a little bit more smooth. We're going to have some mountainous grass over here, so kind of like some hills, which then transition into the mountain over there. And then it's going to come back down into this landscape here, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So I don't want to leave this mountain area over here just super plain and have nothing next to it. In fact, I want to have this entire area here as a forest, but as we continue down this way, I'd like to include some sort of settlement. And I was thinking down here, we have some sort of like Victorian or Georgian kind of period build, and I think that looks super cool. And recently, I've been inspired by a lot of YouTubers on that style, and I feel like I've been getting into it a lot. So I'd like to test my capabilities there, and I'm sure you guys would like to see what I'd come up with. Anyway, I've been rambling on for too long in today's episode, so unfortunately, that's going to be the end of today's one, where we completed this huge mountain from over here, and I have to say, this view is pretty cool looking. And of course, this mountain range will extend all the way along this direction as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, the time lapse, and all the discussion that I'm talking about the future project. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.